My housing levy ilikuwa kwa ile nyingine, na mimi nilienda kotini nikaichapa mpaka ikarudi kwa voluntary. Sasa mnataka tena nirudi kotini?
Bwana Omtatah, wewe sasa unataka kunipeleka kotini, na ile kazi mimi nafanya ni kupangia watu hawa ajira. Kwani sasa utaki hawa watu wapateko kazi? Please, Okiya.
I don't have 10 teeth in my head. My teeth are fake. My skull has been broken twice. But the issue is we must remain faithful. And I was knocked out 10 teeth because I refused a bribe of 9 million. When I began fighting the finance bill in Busia, when I stood up and told the president, your finance bill, the kind of taxation you're bringing is unconstitutional, it's going to destroy the economy. Please change. And I told him, you are a friend, but if you don't do it, the constitution is a greater friend, I'm going to take you to court. So we went to court. CEO to finance bill 2023, Malamba Maji. Today I came from the Supreme Court, they have appealed. We are going to fight there. But let us know that we have the power to deal with these people. And the power is to say no. If I had taken the 200 million that was sent to me through some civil society activist, that I take the 200 million and I pull out the case against the finance bill, I would not have gotten the achievement I got. But I told that guy, keep your money, I keep my country. Can you make public what contracts you have signed with the Americans? What is informing these contracts? And where do you get the capacity to commit the Republic of Kenya without going through the people of Kenya? Na pia jambo lingine, mimi naomba, Mr. Loot All, let the country called the Republic of Kenya be free. We never fought for independence to be taken back, to be colonized. 2027, any Kenyan citizen can rise and become the president of this republic. So to tell us that think about 2032 will not work. Mr. Junior Amalu wako hapa, anataka 2027. Mr. Jakoya wako hapa, anataka 2027. Watu wengi wanataka 2027. Sasa na wengine wanajifanya, let me just find out. Wengine wanajifanya ati wako elected for 10 years. Hakuna hicho. Na mambo ya ushuru, kutumia mbinu ya ushuru kuibia wa Kenya, hatutakubali. Ushuru lazima uwe na sababu. Tuambie unataka kujenga barabara na ni shilingi 10 na tutatoa hapa. Mambo ya kusema unataka shilingi 10 na utuambie naenda kufanya nini, hatutakubali. So President Emeritus Uhuru Kenyatta handed over 2 instruments of power: the Constitution and the sword. And by the way, Mr. Ruto is my good friend. When President Ruto received the Constitution, he symbolically put it aside. When he received the sword, he showed it to the nation. I just hope it is not symbolic. I wish he had lifted the Constitution up.
To show the nation.
To show the nation that it's the rule of law. Not the rule of the sword.
Only you would think of something like that.
Yule mtu ambaye anaenda kotini ati anataka kuzuia ati tusijenga manyumba hawa vijana wapate ajira, ati tusifanye ile kazi yote ndio Kenya tubadilishe. Hawa ni watu ambao ni maadui wa taifa letu la Kenya, na mimi nataka niwahakikishie nyinyi mlimpatia uwezo hawa watu wote ambao wanataka kutuzuia. Mimi nitapambana na wao. Mimi nahitaji tu maombi yenu, kwa sababu si mnajua nilipatiwa panga pale, nilipatiwa sword kubwa hivi. Kwani mnafikiri hiyo sword ni ya kukata mboga? Si ni ya kufyeka wakora hawa? Ndawafyeka kabisa.
Those remarks had 2 issues that got me concerned. The first issue was that the president was threatening violence against that group, and the kind of violence that exterminates. He was threatening to kill people by saying he's going to slash them. And another thing, the second thing is that he deliberately dehumanized the people who went to court by calling them crooks.
Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I go by the name Romy Rolls. This is the channel where we roll the truth. That's why I go by the name Romy Rolls. I roll the truth, and it might hurt some people who are not pro people, but this channel is pro people. We talk the voice of the people. Big up yourselves and subscribe to this YouTube channel, and you'll never be disappointed. and most definitely turn on the notification bells on, and I really appreciate. So it's a new world, it's a new dawn, and people have said Okiya Omtatah the 6th, and I called this earlier on. If you go and watch my videos, I said a man like Jimmy Wanjigi, Okiya Omtatah, these are the mindsets we need to change this country economically, because this country is suffering economically. That's the problem we have. The big problem we have in this country is economy liberation. Talk of counties suffering from servicing their county people. Talk of projects being stalled due to lack of funds. You know, talk of government operations delaying and all that. Talk of everybody claiming that this country is not working for them economically, things are very expensive and all that. It's all about economy liberation, and I believe a man like Jimmy Wanjigi, a man like Okiya Omtatah are the mindset we need to change that, and I believe that will be happening very soon. So come 2024, it will be the big question of economy liberation, and I believe they are the ones to answer this question, and I called this earlier on, and it's good that I've seen a very positive reaction from the social media platforms, and even from the big media stations here in Kenya, that Omtatah is well received for the presidential ticket, and it will be of great support, because we know he has been quite consistent in terms of the public interest. He always fights for the public interest since late 2000s, that is 2007, 2008, and he has even suffered very many injuries, as you can see right now on the screens, just for fighting for Kenyans. And he has suffered this because he was not easily bribed. He couldn't take bribes from these rogue politicians who wanted him to take the bribe so that he could drop the charges or the petitions that he was taking to the courts against the bad leaders who forced some negative implicating policies against the people. So a man like Okiya Omtatah is well received national, and it's great to see that he has a proper mindset. If it's constitutional knowledge, he's a well-versed man in terms of the constitution. If his integrity, dignity, and work ethic, he has proven it, and through a very consistent period of time. And you know, he has even sacrificed, you know, for you to get such injuries, and you know, just to put yourself on the line over just to protect the Kenyan people. It's a very recommendable work or sacrifice he had to take, and we want to appreciate him together with his family. And I actually didn't know that the wife comes from Mombasa or the coastal region, because actually she was a senator for one of the counties in the coastal region. I believe I'll put a video so that you guys can see, and it's so recommendable for you guys to see, to learn that he even has a very strong support from the coastal region, considering that you know, he has bonded with the coastal region people, considering that he has married from over there, and that's nice to see. And in terms of the religious, he's a very religious person. Spiritually, he has grown spiritually very firmly. He's a Catholic, and a very staunch Catholic who believes that people should work for the leaders should work for the people and improve people's life, so that God can continue blessing this country, because God likes to see people being empowered, and people at least living in a good living standard, because currently people are living in some very worst living standard, and it's so unfortunate to see, because people's houses are being demolished right, left and center, as you have seen, just because they're trying to push agenda of cleaning the river, but they're building the house from the top, and that's not how it's done. You know, demolishing people's houses, leaving them with nowhere to go, leaving them homeless, and lying that you'll give them billions of money to compensate them, and at the end of the day you don't do that. It tells the way this rogue regime is leading the Kenyan people the wrong way. So let's hope that the Okiya Omtatah's presidential bid will be accepted with his supporters and other political figures who should join this bid, so that we can have only 2 horses come to 2027, and it will be of great support, because I believe he has the right mindset for the people, and it's good to see that his role is nationally accepted, and that means that even the Gen Z have seen earlier on during the 25th June 2024 demonstration, he was well received, and he fought alongside the Gen Zs to make sure the 2024 financial bill was withdrawn, just to see the Kenyan people at least relieved with the heavy taxes that they were due, just in case that financial bill could have been a success with this government. So guys, let me know your opinion on the comment section, and I really appreciate, as I leave you with very many encouraging videos from Okiya Omtatah and his core, and I really appreciate. Like this video, comment your opinions, and I really appreciate. Then subscribe. Don't lose hope. Stay hopeful. There's light at the end of the tunnel, and successful people look like you. Enjoy. Boom.
I don't see any value in impeaching a pickpocket to leave a robber, because the president is the commander-in-chief.
Are you saying? What then is the option? What's the way out if Parliament is dead against what you guys will say in terms of the other ideas that you have regarding the cost of living in Kenya and the cost of doing business generally?
First of all, thank you for having me. I'll take off where my sister just left off. We have a constitution in this country, so we cannot be said that we are being ignored. We have a constitution in this country, and within that constitution also there are measures to punish these people. There's going to come a time when we shall put them in jail for what they are doing today. Across the world, President Ruto was in South Korea the other day. I think he's still there. Mm-hmm. Let him ask himself how many presidents have been, ex-former presidents of South Korea have gone to jail. As he wants to admire South Korea, he must not as a side whereby rogue presidents are jailed and punished.
President Park was the last.
Yes, and so does President Ruto want to be jailed when he leaves office? That's the question he should ask himself. He's not almighty. He must obey the constitution. There's no way out.
Senator Cherargei is telling Okiya Omtatah to prepare 7 billion for presidential campaign. That is small money, Mr. Cherargei. Hiyo pesa tutachanga. Wacha tuongoje tuone anaweka deputy president mgani. Hiyo pesa tutachanga. Kenyans will raise that 7 billion. And after all, there are few men and women in this country who believe that Kenya can be redeemed, and they will pay this amount of money without thinking. 7 billion. What is 7 billion? Are you joking? You guys have stolen how much? 7 billion. And Okiya Omtatah does not need to give any Kenyan any money. This is just for logistics. Logistics only. And Wakenya watampea kura mkisema ni kutupa wanatupa.
So, Senator, I have to ask you, is it an inherent desire that you have to be president of Kenya? Or is it because the different ideas that have floated to you from different quarters, and I'm sure that they have been numerous, to say do this because of how we have seen you have operated over the last few years, and they said, okay, well, these guys might have a point, let me try. Which is it?
Well, my
inherent desire, and the biggest desire I have, is to be a good citizen. Now, that good citizen requires good service. And my drive is to see that this country provides service that the citizens of this country deserve. And so I've always taken on a challenge whenever I've been, and even some of my biggest achievements were on very small challenges, like the when we had the Butere girls being banned from doing a play. I didn't just sit in Nairobi, I took it up, and I made sure those guys went to court, got very good orders from Justice Majanja, the late. May the Lord rest his soul in peace. And the kids were able to go to Mombasa and perform. And the reason was I believe in freedom of expression. And so, when it comes to what needs to be done, right now I'm seeing that the challenge this country is facing, just like the small thing that Butere was having, was bad governance. So right now, there's total state capture in this country, and it calls on each one of us to do what we can to achieve that. I've tried in the courts, and what moved me the other day to realize that this thing maybe cannot be won within the courts was the judgment the Supreme Court gave the other day, where the Constitution says very clearly that the budget should have estimates of revenue and estimates of expenditure. High Court agreed, Court of Appeal agrees, Supreme Court says no. Supreme Court decides to write a judgment that basically says your Constitution is just a piece of paper. And when I began interrogating it, I looked at the Supreme Court Act, and I found that through some mischief, Parliament had given it the power that we can consider political whatever, consider whatever. Yet Article 2, Clause 4 of the Constitution is very clear that anything against this Constitution is null and void. So I realized that the fight is to implement the Constitution. And there's no better place to do that than from the presidency. It's the Constitution or nothing. Implement the Constitution, and we have three broad goals that I'm trying to push for. They are very, very simple. But they are simple in the nature that they are transformative. So basically, we have got what we call economic and social reforms. Notice we are not doing anything about law reforms. Economic and social reforms. And that is one, is to enforce constitutionalism, including the rule of law. That must happen. The law must apply to everybody and to every transaction. Number two, we must institute fiscal discipline to fix the shaky public finances and structures, including the elimination of corruption and wastage. And wastage, you can even look at the structure of government. Why do you have 24 ministries? I've had a group of experts who have worked over time and produced a structure of government that has only 14 ministries. And this country will run very well. Why wasting all that money having another 8 ministries over and above that? Now, but what we also be looking at, and when we clean up, we have also looked at, if you look at Article 225, Clause 1 of the Constitution, it requires the Treasury to be established as an independent institution. One of the major policy things we have to do is to get the Treasury established like the central bank, run by experts, and the politicians have no access to public money at the whim. The president should not walk anywhere and then to entertain people say,
PS, where are you? Milioni 200 iingie kwa hii mradi. Is it in the budget? We must restore the budget as the primary tool of government policy. If it's important, it will be in the budget. If it's not important, it will be outside the budget.
You like me, why them a fight me? You like me, chewing a bone, a bite. You like me, chewing a bite. Don't like, how I got we don't trust them, even if we bust them. We don't trust them, stay fine, not touch them. We don't trust them, we'll be a man, not sub them. Inform me, say you must them.